Okay, we're going to talk about Hawaiian Vamps today. This is so easy, and this expands on Ukulele Theory 101, where we talked about 1 chord, 4 chord, and 5 chord. As you already know, in the key of C, C is the 1 chord, F is the 4 chord, G is the 5 chord, C is the 1 chord. Whenever you play a 5 chord, if you make it a 5-7 chord, it's always a little bit more of a stronger resolution. So instead of playing G going to C, play a G7 resolving to C. It's a little bit bluesier. What's the Hawaiian vamp for the C in the key of C? It's D7, G7, C. They're always going to be 7 chords, right? D7, G7, C. Unmistakably Hawaiian. So we all know G7 is the 5-7 chord in the key of C. What's the 5-7 chord in the key of G? G, A, B, C, D. That's where that comes into play. D7. So when you play that D7 chord, you're pretending just for that second that you're in the key of G. And then as soon as you hit the G7 chord, then you're in the key of C. So let's say we're doing the G vamp, G Hawaiian vamp. What's the G Hawaiian vamp? A7, D7, G. Still unmistakably Hawaiian, right? So in the key of G, what's the 5 chord? G, A, B, C, D. Okay, so we know what's going to come as the second to last chord in the vamp, D7 to G. What about the third to last chord? Well, for that chord we got to pretend, again, for a second that we're in the key of D. What's the 5-7 chord in the key of D? D, E, F, G, A. So that's where the A7 comes from. See, whenever you play a 7 chord, it's got this sense of urgency. It's got to move. That's why there's so much tension when you're playing these 7 chords, because 7 chords normally resolve to the end, but you're in a sense prolonging the end by playing consecutive 7 chords. A7, D7, G. How about the key of D? So what's the D Hawaiian vamp? Okay, well, D is the end result. So what's the second to last chord? It's going to be the 5-7 chord, right? D, E, F, G, A. A7. Okay, what's the third to last chord that comes before A7? Well, then we got to pretend that we're in the key of A. What's the 5-7 chord in the key of A? A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so that's where that comes in. E7, A7, D. If you're familiar with the song Waikiki Hula, it's basically a D Hawaiian vamp in the verse, but there is they go one step back and they do there'll be a 4th to last chord. So then we got to go backwards again, right? So we end up at D. Second to last chord will be A7. Chord before that will have to be E7. What's the 5 chord in the key of E? E, F, G, A, B. So you can play B7. So when you hear a song, take note of how many chord changes you hear, and then you can work your way backwards. So Waikiki Hula would be like D, B7, E7, A7, D7, I mean D. So. D, B7, E7, A7. So that's how you do the Hawaiian vamp. It's all 5 7 of 5 7 of 1. Hope that makes sense and helps.